Hey there, guys. Welcome. I'm the Terminator. I'm going to be doing more anime reviews. This one's about Doctor Stone. Um, you see, a lot of times my friend actually is the one who recommended it to me, and I went ahead and checked it out. Um, Not so sure if I'm a big fan of the art style. I kind of like it, but then kind of don't. It's kind of like a pet peeve. But it's like a love-hate relationship. Sometimes those are usually for the best. But what I have to say about it is I've been watching up to the sixth episode so far. That's my recent up to date, and I'm not gonna do any, like basically, I'm not gonna show the clips or anything like that of like what you were gonna expect from the sixth episode. And I kind of don't want to blow the anime for you as much as possible because I want you to actually watch it because it is good. It is good anime. Is it the best anime that it could ever been? No. Uh, Basically, there's a character in this anime that it really drives me up a wall. This guy. Isekai, I guess would be his name. But anyway, so here comes the problem. As much as I like the character, he doesn't make sense. I'm saying that in a honest to God, like, how does a man do like fighting? How does he fight against monsters and beasts with such utter ease, and then goes around and destroying things with nothing with his fist? I can understand, and I said this numerous times when this all happened, that when you came out of the stone, that there was some deformity on the eyes. You look on the eyes, you could see that the ripples, and it was brought up in the show, and the show did describe it. But the problem is like I just don't see uh, this show really working really well unless it has a couple of things going for it. Like it's just such a terrible. Whoops! I did not realize that there was any nudity there. Hopefully that doesn't come to bite me later down the road. But I'm just saying, uh, this character is an awesome character, but he became so bad really quick, and it was like, dude, the hell. Point is, I realized that, but he's so godlike. He never misses a beat. Look how actually his muscles are, how big they are. Not really that strong, but then when you look right here, you go, okay, he's definitely ripped. But at the end of the day, how can he be so powerful, so strong? Ah, gosh dang it! I'm not making it worse. That's it. That's enough. I'm not putting it up there, and I don't care. So if you don't have a picture, I do not care. Um, but at the end of the day, here's the deal. The character, the apparently the main characters, is no longer the main characters. It's this guy. He is now taken over the show, and has actually killed this guy, who's actually the main character. Believe it or not, because this is his show. Took it over completely, and now they're going to be locked in a war like none other. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect logical sense. At this point, I would be like trying to do whatever I can to survive, but the problem is you would need a mad scientist like him to be able to figure stuff out because you're going to need medicine, you're going to need this, you're going to need that. This guy can't do all that. And as soon as he got out, he knew that he needed him bad, but he was going to try to bring back more people, but that should be good for him, but he doesn't feel like anybody should be awakened because he fears that they might actually be strong enough to actually beat him. And so he doesn't want to bring it back. And most descriptions, what he actually has to say isn't really far off. I wouldn't want to bring back adults, and he said that that was the thing that he didn't want to bring back. And then, of course, the mad scientist wants to bring back adults. And I'm like, well, actually, I don't blame that. Bringing back the adults is actually a good thing because better to have the kids because at least then they would be able to handle the situation at hand. It's actually not a bad decision making because adults would like to take over, take control, do this, do that, do this, do that, and basically just before you know it, you'd lost any chances of trying to rebuild civilization. In fact, you can't rebuild civilization with an adult because an adult is bigot-headed, not going to change, but the kids are willing to learn because that's just how it is. And that's reality for you, and that makes sense. And his perspective isn't far off the mark. Why would you want to bring back the civilization? You see how beautiful it is. Even in, like, 3,000 years later, it actually looks pretty beautiful out there. Why would you want to bring back cities and malls and stuff like that and and destroying life? Why would you want to do that? You know, and in bringing back civilization is not necessarily a bad thing for human, but at the end of the day, it's going to be overpopulated and it's going to become too big and too out there, and it's just going to become nuts. Anyway, the point is, this main character, which is the main character, he's now running the show. So he's the big guy. He's impossible to beat. He's too strong, too powerful, and I don't understand that. It's one thing to have like a couple of muscles, blah blah blah, but when these guys were the main character, who is supposed to be the main character, is no longer the main character. Whatever. Oh, here we go. We got a picture. Perfect. They were out there working. What I didn't understand was they had the advantage of having to be outside, awake, out there working, and it's hard work. And even though you may not be big muscles, you actually become really strong. And what I was expecting was that, if he doesn't become that strong, because, but he would definitely become stronger than he was back when he was a school kid. That's what I was thinking. And then his friend here, I'm just like, why didn't you guys try to train your muscle guy with a sword? Why didn't you try to practice with that? And nope, didn't even think of that. Didn't even care. Didn't even want to do that. Because right now he's got the strength, but like what I didn't understand was you could have made him get stronger. I mean, why not go make him, lifting weights? I mean, you just get a couple of rocks, put some rope on that. There you go. Put concrete. You can make concrete out of that, and make it concrete bell bars or wooden, depending on however you want to do it. I mean, it's not that hard to do that. You could also pick up a rock, and it's a lot different when you don't have a handle. What I'm saying is that the characters could have been stronger because they've been having to go out there and do all the work that they need to do, lifting really heavy stuff. I'm just saying that they would become stronger. What I don't understand is how can a guy who's been in a stone all of a sudden come out and be as bad as Broly when total different universe. This is a scientific universe. This has nothing to do with magic and puffy girls. No magic key that just gives you like this insane amount of Super Saiyan powers. I mean, let's say that for a second. This is supposed to be a neutral human situation. Yeah, the stone is kind of alien and magic, but at the end of the day, they don't seem to be having any side effects from the stone, which I'd expect. But I guess we'll find out later. But back to the point at hand. Good show, but I think it could be done better. I think that they screwed up in a lot of different ways. Because it doesn't really make a lot of sense at the end. That's what I got to say about it. I say that, trust me, I'm not exactly overcritical or overthinking this. I'm actually being really dead on, and this makes a lot of sense because when you think about it, I want the anime to be better. Unfortunately, there's some inconsistencies here that doesn't really make a lot of sense. There were some mistakes here that just didn't make a lot of sense. And when they had that guy that I was talking about who took over the show, they could have it should have taken like a couple of days or 3 days or 4 or 5 days in the show to show some differences and changes. As you can tell, these two big eggheads are trying to take over the human race as far as we know it, and unfortunately that's a problem because that's a problem. So anyway, I don't know how they're gonna do what they're going to do in the future. I don't know what's going to be like, but I mean, let's just say it might get better later down the road. Who knows? I mean, as far as I could tell, it's got some options, like it's possible. I want the show to be better. That's all I got to say. It could be better. All right. Thanks guys for watching. Put your comments down in the line. If you noticed it, go ahead and point it out if you notice what I'm talking about. Like I said, I don't want to blow the show for you. I'm just saying that, again, there's some inconsistencies. Like, one thing I would definitely say is, this guy, from the moment he came out of the stone, he was the only one who broke the freaking consecration because his brain, he also figured out that his brain was the only one that was active for 3,000 years. So when he popped out naturally. But anyway, so then he actually had to put fluid. He had to figure it out sciencely wise. What I'm saying is that out of all those experiments that he did, he would have an advantage because there to be some plants that would probably be paralyzing, stuff like that. I expected him to do stuff like that. You know, be like, this is from a plant that I found, and it's very, it numbs you down. And so then he would be numbed. So then he would pass out or whatever, or like have to get a cure, and he's the only one who could get the cure. And then I just defeated you without even throwing a single punch. See, that's the kind of sort of thing I expected. I'm just saying. It's just frustrating because, it really it begs the question. Come on, get better, because you could definitely get better. Because the problem is you're kind of slacking on a lot of the main things here. And if he knew what was about to happen, he should have been better prepared for it, but he didn't. And then it's so rapidly fast, though. It's like so crazy fast, so overhyped. It's also trying to speed up the show, and I don't think that's really a wise decision. I think that's actually a mistake. Trying to speed the show like that. It's just not necessary. All right, thanks guys for watching. Like I said, put your comments down there. Let's see what you got. Thanks guys for watching.